So it's Father's Day weekend, which is always a complicated one in our house. We lost my husband to a heart attack when my youngest daughter was 6. Genesis was a total daddy's girl, and there was nothing that he wouldn't do for her. He passed away as a result of a heart attack when he was only 50 years old, and there were a lot of factors in that. He was a chef. He loved Southern cooking since he grew up in the South, and his lifestyle took a toll. And every year this weekend shows up with this mix of tenderness and a little bit of apprehension. It's about that life is short, so pay attention energy. And honestly, watching her grow up without him, it's changed the way that I think about a lot of things. The way I parent or take care of myself. The choices I make. How I show up even when I'm tired. Because she's watching. And whether we like it or not, our children learn to be people by watching us be people. And I swear, half the time, she's teaching me just as much as I'm teaching her. So today, I want to talk about how our daily choices, our food, movement, effort, rest, and the way we talk to ourselves become the blueprint that our children carry into their lives and how they shape us right back. Today is about the lessons my daughter is teaching me. Welcome to episode 56 of Making Mel Health in the Hustle. This podcast is a place where motherhood meets muscle, ambition meets exhaustion, and figuring out how to prioritize my health journey into the insanely beautiful chaos of a busy life is what I talk about. Some days it'll look messy and other days flawless. But no matter what kind of day I'm having, I can assure you, I will tell the truth and do my best to give you some good ideas and insight to help you prioritize your own journey. One of my favorite things about being Genesis' mom is watching her take up space in ways that I never did at her age. She walks into a room as if she's always belonged there. She's been a dancer and an athlete her entire 16 years, and she is bold. Her heart is the most beautiful part of her. She dances big, takes up space in her own life, and she's never fearful to throw her entire being into a performance on any stage she's ever stood on. She's not afraid to speak her mind, even if people get upset. She lifts heavy weights or runs, and she just knows how to be herself. And I sit here and think, where did she get all that incredible confidence? Because I was the kind of kid who tried to disappear into the wallpaper. I was always the heavy kid, and I didn't want to be front and center because I didn't have the confidence to put myself out there. I could believe that my daughter's confidence is because she's healthy and not overweight, but there's more to it than that, because confidence is not a byproduct of body size. It's a byproduct of mindset. I look at my life now, the way I lift, the way I move, the way I no longer apologize for existing, and I realize that she's grown up with a mama who has a strong mindset and knows who she is. She's learned to take up space because she's been watching a mom who's not afraid to take up that space. Sometimes I'm watching her for courage. And other times, she's the one reminding me to loosen up and enjoy life, to try something new and just stop overthinking. There's this moment, you'll have your own version, where you see your child do something brave and you think, wow, if she can do that, I can do this. That's the loop we're in. We are raising them, but in a way, they're raising us too. Our children don't learn from lectures. They learn from the background noise of our lives, and they pick up so much more than we realize. At 2 years old, I remember watching my baby girl sit in her high chair with 3 Oreo cookies on the tray. I watched her twist the lids off of each of those cookies, peel the icing off, and stack it in a pile, and then throw the cookies off the tray. I then watched this baby grab this stack of icing and eat the pile the exact same way that I had eaten Oreos dozens of times. Throw the cookie away and eat the icing. And I never even noticed that she was watching. But clearly, from her actions, she was. And she's still noticing. She notices if I skip breakfast or eat in a rush over the sink. She takes note if I'm eating a bowl of ice cream or a Little Debbie cake for dinner. She pays attention if I treat my body like it's some kind of problem to solve. When I push myself past the point of exhaustion on a Thursday night and stay up past 10:30 working on a paper, she sees it. When I don't meal plan for the week, she starts to think there's a serious flaw. First of all, as she believes in the grocery fairy, the one who delivers all the good food when she's not looking. She notices the green beans at dinner and the Brussels sprouts at breakfast. When I sit down and eat a meal with her, and the choices that I make at restaurants, or when I pick up heavy metal and put it back down, and rest without guilt, she's watching. When I say I'm tired and I'm going to take a break, or I show her that effort does not mean working to the point of self-destruction, she notices and absorbs all of that. I don't have to give her a speech about balanced meals or healthy movement and self-respect. She's learning by watching me live it. And this is where it gets real. She's going to carry these patterns into adulthood, into all of her relationships and her career, and someday into her own kitchen. She's going to carry the lessons I teach her through my behavior into the way she treats her body when no one else is watching. And that part hits me. Not in a guilt way, but in a responsibility way where I realize my next choice matters. Our children don't inherit our bodies. They inherit our relationship with our bodies. And honestly, that's motivating. It makes me want to show up better because of her. And there's another part. We spend so much time thinking about what we want to teach our children, but there are things that I hope she never learns from me. Because I don't want her to carry around all the negative patterns that I used to live out every day. I hope she never ever learns the idea that she has to earn rest. I spent so many years believing that rest is something you get after you worked yourself into an exhaustion, or after you hustled hard enough and checked every box. I don't want that for her. I want her to know that rest is a right, not a reward. It is exactly what the body needs and requires to function well. I hope she never learns the pressure to be everything for everyone or to be a doormat. I carried that badge like it was an honor, but all it really did was make me tired and resentful. I want her to know she can ask for help. That no is a whole sentence, and that she can choose herself without apologizing or shrinking. I want Coach Val's mantra of "you come first right after me" to be at the forefront of her mind so she never ever tries to pour from an empty cup. I hope she never knows the guilt I carried around food for years. The good, the bad, the shame, the rules, the mental gymnastics. I want her to eat because she's hungry and because she knows her body needs nourishment. I want her to enjoy the joy in food and fuel and connection, not believe that it's some kind of moral test that she's always failing. I hope she never learns the way I used to talk to myself. The criticism and comparison. The way I could find 10 flaws before I ever found one thing to celebrate. I want her inner voice to be kind to her and build her up. The way that mine does now, but never did when I was younger. Because mindset impacts the body in ways that food can never, ever touch. And honestly, I hope she never learns the idea that she has to be strong all the time. I want her to know that softness is strength too. that crying is human and asking for support is brave, and that she doesn't have to hold the whole world together to be worthy. These are things that I continue to work on so she never learns about those self-sabotaging behaviors. Because building a better version of myself has to be about her too. It's for the woman she's becoming. Now I want to flip this for a moment because this isn't a one-way street. Watching her make choices, especially the hard ones, it changes me. When she tries something new and she's nervous, but she does it anyway, I'm reminded that bravery isn't loud. It's quiet, personal, messy, and can be completely understated and part of your next regular everyday choice. When she gets frustrated and keeps going, I'm reminded that effort is a muscle all of its own. When she laughs at herself, I'm reminded that joy is a skill. When I see her unafraid to ask for help, I am reminded that connection is the whole point. And on the days when I'm tired or overwhelmed or doubting myself, she'll do something small like cooking us dinner or getting up first thing in the morning, getting dressed and going to the gym. I watch her quiet presence, her strength and resilience, and I am inspired and in awe to keep going. I watch her talk herself through the tough moments, and I think, if she can keep going, so can I. She's not just watching me, I'm watching her. And we're both becoming something better because of it. And that's the point, that's the idea. That our health and well-being is shaped by the people we love. It doesn't just stop with our kids. It extends to other people in our lives who inspire us and show up differently. My friend, Coach Julie, for example, she has 4 grandbabies who are just beautiful. And there's this one in particular, little Asher. He's only a year old, but he is built like a tiny linebacker and has the most adorable face you've ever seen. Every time I see a picture of him, I think to myself, I cannot wait to teach this kid how to lift weights because he's built so perfectly to be a power lifter. And that thought alone makes me want to keep getting better and stronger and healthier as I get older because I want to be around for those future lifts. And that brings me to this. Father's Day always brings an extra bittersweet layer for us. The reminder that time has no guarantees. Childhood and another day of memories is not guaranteed. When you lose someone young, you start to understand the value of ordinary moments in a way that other people don't. You start to realize that the things you thought were just everyday life were actually the good stuff. You understand that the conversations and the car karaoke that you have while you drive to dance matters. The breakfasts in bed that were basically crumbs and chaos, they matter. The trip to Target, where a 40-something-year-old father is wearing a toy fire hat and pushing a shopping cart through the aisles with a giggling 3-year-old, also wearing a fire hat and wailing like a siren at the top of his lungs. Those irreplaceable moments matter. Sure, it was embarrassing at the time, but when you look back, those are the memories that were priceless. Coach Val always talks about how important it is to be present and live in the moment. We don't get unlimited summers or mornings or chances to show up and make more memories. Those late night talks or the I love yous, they matter. The memories we make, the little things, the things that you think you'll get a million more of, those are the ones that become priceless. They become the emotional home that our children carry into adulthood. And whether you know it or not, emotional well-being impacts our physical health way more than we realize. For Genesis, for a child who lost a parent, memories are everything. They're proof that she was loved by him. Those memories become the stories that she tells herself to keep him close, and the comfort she reaches for when life gets heavy. But here's the part I didn't expect. Losing him also changes the way she looks at me. It created this quiet fear in her. The fear of losing her mama, too. So yes, I care about the food that I eat and the movement I make and the effort I put in, but not because I'm chasing some finish line or a number on a scale. I care because I want to be here for her. I want to be here for the big moments and the boring ones. The choices that I make now, the meals I cook, the weights I lift, the water I drink, the nights I choose sleep instead of pushing through, they're not just about me. They're about her future, too. The dinners that I make will influence the dinner she's going to make someday. The way I move my body will influence the way she moves hers. How I rest will influence the way she treats herself when she feels overwhelmed and tired. The voice and tone that I use to talk to and about myself will influence the voice she hears in her own head. That's legacy. The kind that's built on a boring Tuesday night or a busy Saturday morning. The way we show up when no one is watching. Or when we think nobody's watching. And that's why Father's Day hits differently. Because it reminds me that the memories we make today are the ones she's going to carry long after she's grown. And I want her to have as many as we can. I want my daily choices to give her a map that promotes her health as she becomes older and navigates life challenges. So this Father's Day weekend, I'm thinking about legacy. The kind that's built from breakfasts and car rides and dance performances and movies on a Saturday afternoon. The kind that's built from the way we show up on a Wednesday when we're tired, or the way we talk to ourselves when we think no one's listening. Legacy is the quiet stuff. It's the stuff that our children absorb without us ever sitting them down for a lesson. It's the tone we use, the food we choose, the way we rest or don't, and the way we handle the hard days. Our choices become their blueprint, and their choices become our reminders. And somewhere in the middle, we're growing each other. She's not just watching. She's becoming. And the truth is, so am I, every day. Every single choice, every small, steady moment that turns into a memory. And if there's one thing I know, it's this. Make the memories. Take care of the body that carries you through them. And stay long enough to make a whole lot more. Until next time, onward and upward, my friends.